Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alexander Varadi. I am the managing director for the Golden Duck Gallery, and we are here on the Golden Duck Gallery's channel, YouTube channel, to talk a little bit about art and what to avoid when you are buying something that looks like art but probably isn't. On your left and on your right, you can see two paintings which look quite similar in terms of they look like acrylic or oil paintings. They both have some texture in them. They have different colors. Yeah, they are different style, because this is homage to Van Gogh and this one is semi-abstract still life. But yet they are very, very different. And I will definitely tell you the key difference is that this one is an original painting made by hand by an artist, created one of a kind. This one is a high quality digital print, which is made with a special gear, so it appears to be as textured and made as if it was an original painting. It's acrylic, it's with texture paste, with everything, but this is created by a machine and this one is created by a human. So the difference is huge. The other big difference, that this is really truly one of a kind painting. This one is actually a mass-produced thing, a mass-produced product, if you want. I don't use the word product for original paintings, but this truly is a product. Actually, this print might be a little bit confusing for you, because if you see something like this, it really looks like an original painting, although it isn't. And the first, and actually the only thing that will reveal this to you is that it doesn't have any kind of signature. So it's not signed on the front side. This one is signed classically in the right lower corner of the painting. This one doesn't have any kind of signature, and even if you turn it, because some paintings are signed on the other side, so usually it's signed somewhere here, usually this way, this painting has no actual signature nowhere at all. It has some kind of number here on the wooden structure. So we can definitely say that this one is not an original painting. I know this because one of my family members bought this 10 years ago to decorate an Airbnb apartment. So this was bought on purpose like this, because we buy quite a lot of different art, but this one is definitely not an art piece. Usually when you find this quality of a print, it might be okay to buy this, because although it's not an original art piece, it is quite good in quality, it is quite durable, it's made with quite quality materials. The only problem with this is that this is quite expensive. This might be 3 to 1,000 euros. In the different markets. Usually in Hungary it's more about 200 to 300 euros for this kind of size, but when you find this somewhere in the Western Hemisphere, it will be probably much more expensive. Are prints generally a big problem? No, they are not, and I will tell you why. The original concept of creating this technology is to make an opportunity, or give the opportunity to the artist to make several copies of the same artwork. Why was it needed? Because some of the artists who have names and who have a big army of fans, I may say, they have to make something for the general public, for those who love the painting, for those who love the concept. And when the artist doesn't want to be pirated, because usually nice and interesting concepts are subject to piracy, they make original copies, original prints, they sign them, they do limited series of those prints, and they sell them for a fraction of the price. But the fraction of the price still is quite high. So when we sell the original painting for several thousands of euros, probably 40, 50,000 euros, then the print might be 500 euros or 800 euros, 1,000 euros, and it still has all the same, it bears all the same things as an original painting because it's signed, it's limited, it has a quite high artistic value. It can be resold for a higher price, and it is also very important for the artist because the artist, when selling these prints, gathers the money, so you support the artist by buying those prints. The other purpose of making prints, giclée prints or digital prints or any other kind of prints, is to show the view of the original painting without showing the original painting. So it's kind of presentation, a showpiece or a presentation piece. Usually it's done for exhibition purposes when you cannot transport your original painting to another continent, for example, because it's just too expensive. So instead of paying the customs and shipment expenses, you pay for a print, and then when the viewers like your artwork, they can buy the original from you, and they will transport it on their own expense. So it's a showpiece technology also. Kind of okay, I think. Usually nobody buys these prints because they are not signed and not really made for selling purposes, but it's no problem with selling them because, again, you support the artists by buying this print. But if you go somewhere, in a department store, in a furniture store, anywhere, you can buy a lot of prints that usually look nothing like this, because this one is discontinued more than 10 years ago. I will show you something that will definitely shock you a little bit because it's totally different in terms of the quality. Because I have another print here, and this is a digital print made by us. It's actually not very successfully made because the quality of the picture is quite low, but don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to the style. I'm talking about the quality. First of all, we have absolutely no texture. So this is watery. This is just like sliding on an oil base. It's not really interesting at all. And if we turn it, we see that the edges here are very sharp. This means that this is a digital print. It's not signed, it's not a limited edition, it's nothing. It was basically made for the Golden Duck Gallery and by the Golden Duck Gallery for this showpiece technology, but this one was not quite good, so it was not sold. Of course, we don't sell this because this is just below our standards. And this was never actually exhibited. It was our first attempt to do this. The original of this print was, I believe it was given back to the artist because obviously the artist paid for this. So, the problem is that the texture is absent. We can see that there are flows of paint here, but we cannot feel it with our fingers. The finger slides through the texture and doesn't feel any, although here, even where there is no texture, you can feel the different levels of the paint on the artwork. So this one is something you should avoid buying on all purposes, because this one is just something that tries to look like an original painting, but actually is a ripoff. Usually galleries don't sell these things. Usually department stores do. Why do they do that? Because for them, creating these pieces is very, very cheap. They buy the license and they own it for a lifetime, and then they can do anything to it because they can make it in any kind, in any technique, in any numbers. So I believe that IKEA can make a digital print appear in millions of copies. And then Is it a problem? Well, I think yes. Because basically, when we are talking about art, one of the core values is that it is original, it is one of a kind, and thus, although it's original and one of a kind, it bears some value. It can be, this value can be estimated, of course, it can be estimated differently, but it is there. And when you buy an artwork, you usually make this art cost more expensive. And when you buy digital prints, you make the digital print cost less because it's a product and this one is not. Which is also very important, that when you buy the original art, you can see and know all the details, and those details are part of the value. They are part of everything that is connected to this artwork. When you buy these prints, they are usually not signed. You don't know even the name of the artist who created it. You never know how many of those copies were ever made. And what is really very important, that most of the department stores make their prints quite low in quality. Probably the printing quality will be quite good because it has to look nice, obviously. But when you start looking into materials, the materials are the cheapest you can buy. The quality of the paint will fade through years, so probably due to humidity, temperature, and other factors, the digital prints you can buy in department stores will fade away or will be destroyed by time in 3 to 5 years, I suppose. I think 3 years is the maximum for them. Original artworks can last centuries, and we can say that because we have a lot of those stored in both museums and private collections for hundreds of years. And why not pay attention to that? Of course, you can buy different quality of the prints, but when you go up in quality, you will go up in price too. So the price tag will be quite high, and it will look like a rip-off, because if you buy a digital print, which is 1 of a million, for 200 euros, then probably you can go to a gallery like ours, like the Golden Duck Gallery, and you can buy original art for 200-300 euros, and this will be original art with everything that is usually there in art. It will be signed, it will be properly signed with all the information about the artwork, the artist, everything. We can buy of course, you can go and buy a more. Of course, you can go and buy a print of a better quality, but of course, when you go upper in quality, you usually go upper with price. And when you buy a 1 of a million print for 200 or 300 euros, because it might be the actual truth, then it sounds for me like a little bit of a rip-off, because you can go to the Golden Duck Gallery, either personally or online, and you definitely will have something for 200 to 300 euros, which is original art, and it will last for a very long time, and it bears all the details the artworks usually have. You can, and you should know the name of the artist. You will see the dimensions, the materials, the year of creation, everything will be there. And when you buy something for 300 euros, I think you want the quality to be high, and you want the price to go upper. That is something that is just there. This is logical to do so. But when you go and buy a print, the quality will be quite high if you spend a lot of money on it. So when you spend 200 to 300 euros on something that is one of a kind, then you should definitely know that the price might be higher, and should be higher actually. Usually galleries do sell some quite cheap artworks, but I think that everything that is bought under 500 euros in an art gallery, being an original art, is a bargain, absolutely bargain, because if you think of everything that is put into the creation of an artwork, it cannot be cheap. So, I wish everyone bought only original art. Of course, it will never be the thing. But if you need cheap decorations, you go to department stores. if you want to buy some value, you come to a gallery and you buy original art. I think this is quite obvious, but I see that people don't really understand that, and I want everyone to be on the same page about art and artistic quality. I believe that buying art and supporting artists is a way through the ages. I think that by supporting art, we are supporting the progress. Because, of course, technically, the progress will never end. But without art, the progress will never be humane. When we buy something which is mass-produced, we support the capitalism, of course, but we don't support the progress. So you can choose, and you can choose smartly. If you buy something for you, if you buy something for a present, please go for the original art, because original art is so much better. It gives you so much more emotions than something mass-produced. So, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for coming to the Goldenberg Gallery. Please give us a like, write a comment. You can write literally everything about me, about the gallery, about the artist. I will not moderate anything at the moment. And if you can do that, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching us. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and goodbye.